welcome to the Brickety Broadcast Network. And we are here live at the Maxwell Hotel. And our buddy, Chief Brick Geek, who you've seen when we were doing reviews of LEGOMasters New Zealand. And Remy's here in person, but he's up in his room. So then that way we don't have the echo and the screaming of the speakers back and forth. So, but we're so excited because we're actually doing this live here in Seattle together. And Chief Brick Geek, Lauren, was here, and he goes, yeah, come on in and use the room. So thank you so much. It's awesome. We really appreciate that. You're welcome to hang out with us too. Did you see the episode?
The one last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it upstairs with the Lego.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you want to chime in, and we're going to do the same review like we normally do. Okay. Yeah. Feel free to chime in if you want.
I think I'm going to hit the hay.
You're going to hit the hay? Okay. Okay, but thank you. Thanks for letting us use the room.
Sure,
cool.
No problem.
Okay. Awesome.
Pretty good, Lauren.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, this is.
Hey, you're welcome to be live too. Dan is here.
Yeah.
You could stand behind me and say hi to everybody here.
I haven't seen really anybody.
Well, he doesn't, you know.
We have
honestly,
0 viewers right now. Murray just dropped off.
Oops, scared her away.
Scared her off.
That may not be the case in the future. So
That's true.
also,
it could be video on demand. That's true.
anyone in the room, just be aware of the mirrors. So even if you think you're not on camera, don't be doing silly things because we can see you in the mirror.
So Dan, tell us a little bit about what are you displaying here at BrickCon?
The trophy.
The trophies. So
No, I mean the trophy.
the trophy.
That's true.
The best of show is my design.
Oh, okay. So the best of show was Dan's design, and you've been a member of CLEG for how long now?
20 plus.
Whoa, 20 plus years. That's awesome. Okay, good night. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate your help. So, so what do you think about this 21st year, Dan?
Close the door when you're done.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Time to basically relax and have some fun.
Yes, definitely. And that's
we're now adults. We're officially the adult.
We're legal age now.
Right.
So all bets are off.
Everything we do is suddenly a felony now. Really? Come on.
We can be incarcerated.
Well, I mean, before that, we were basically doing all the fun stuff without being legal age.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're 21.
That's how it goes.
Well, what we're doing, Dan, and you're welcome to join us if you like, is that we are doing LEGOMasters Season 3, Episode 2 review, which was the dinosaur episode with Jurassic Park. And Remy has some slides that we go through, and you're welcome to join us. This is like an impromptu edition. And if you want, if it's here for you, you can sit here.
Sure.
And then I can adjust the camera so that we're both in frame. And you're not like hovering the whole time. Like,
There you go.
okay, that's better. Let's see. I need to move. Let's see. How do I do this? Here. Is it better if I do it this way or if I do it this way? Okay, maybe that way for a little bit.
Yeah, that's the wider is better.
The wider angle.
And
Okay.
you guys get to see more of my lovely hotel room.
That's true. Okay. So Remy, do you want to go ahead and get started sharing? Oh no, you froze. Okay.
No, oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
You're back. Okay. So just for Dan's benefit and for anybody else who's just joined us, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Brickety Broadcast
Welcome in.
Network here on YouTube. And as you know, we've been doing review shows, and we weren't sure what day we were going to do this because we're here at BrickCon. And we're going to go through the builds. And there are some contestants here. Never know. They might hear that we're doing this, and maybe they'll drop in just like Dan did.
We'll try to ensnare them.
Of course, you're welcome to stay the whole time, but if you feel like, these people are really okay, good. Okay. So, all right. So, Remy, what do you think about this episode overall?
I don't know. Like, I thought this episode was kind of like a mess.
Yes.
Thematically, like this is our destruction episode, and it's like a major theme like Jurassic Park. So like that doesn't always, like, both those ideas at once doesn't always work. And like a lot of the contestants struggled to kind of marry those ideas.
Absolutely. You're right.
No fault of their own. like it's just tough to, I don't know, to build to both prompts at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially like I think this is the first time they used gunpowder trails.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wow.
Did
Yeah,
you
and
know
like-
the episode?
I actually have.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
this will
well,
be great.
we're about to ruin it for you.
Well,
no,
you don't mind.
you're not going to ruin it for me.
Yeah, so
Oh.
Dan's going to be seeing these visuals for the first time.
Okay.
And did the gingers join yet? The gingers. Who are the gingers? Parade, who are you talking about?
Just the general gingers? I don't know. Are there any gingers in the chat? Sound off.
No. Well, the thing is, I don't think there are any gingers on the show.
Does she mean the Canadians?
Maybe she meant the Canadians.
Well,
Maybe. But anyway,
I
so
would have called them the Maples, though.
so you can see Dan. He's seeing behind the scenes views of
okay.
StreamYard. So you can see Marae just said, "Me either, Dan."
That's fine.
So-
You know what? If they show up, we'll welcome them just like we do everyone else.
no, I think Marae said she didn't see the episode yet.
Oh,
So she's going to be, spoiled just like Dan is, but he doesn't care.
okay.
So it's all good.
Well, yeah.
So,
we saw all of the Star Wars episode 3, 4, 5 before 1, 2, 3. So
yeah.
True.
4, 5, and 6, right?
we knew how it ended already.
Well, no, technically they still had 7, 8, and 9 after that.
That's true.
So we got the middle.
No, there wasn't a new team. They may have just featured certain teams more heavily than they did in the first episode.
Yeah.
Because they have 12 teams. So it
Yeah,
may
and
seem
we had
like-
11 this time. And so they've been eliminating a team every week, which is different than the previous 2 seasons. Because the first
Yeah,
season, they gave them a pass
Yeah.
the first week. Second season, they gave them a pass the first week. And this time it was like, nope, somebody's going home. And
Well, yeah.
Holy
Again,
Potato went home last week. So
yeah, Brad Pitt is really like executive producing the show into the ground. Because still, this episode, no golden brick. You know,
Right.
they're waiting for the
True,
next
they,
episode.
they don't have the golden brick just yet,
Yeah.
but it probably will be coming later.
But yeah, just like this is the first time they use. They always have a destruction episode early, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But they used like gunpowder trails for the first time, I think, in a series. And like a gunpowder trail is like a very specific element.
Right.
You can't just put that into a build and have dinosaurs around. So I don't know. Also, like the real villain of this episode was Lens Flare. Lens Flare and smoke.
Worked great for Star Trek.
Yeah. It was like
for,
JJ.
Maverick too, right? And the
Yeah,
Top
but
Gun. All
at
of
least
those.
JJ Abrams, like he didn't shine it like right into your face. And we'll see on some of these slides. Like I did what I could, but
Well,
yeah.
I'm just impressed that even traveling, that you are taking the time to do all the screenshots and all of that. And for those of you who are wondering behind the scenes, I brought my laptop here, and I also brought my special Yeti microphone as well. So you should have nice quality audio today. And also, I have it
all
set
those
just in
key sounds.
case. If we have a sighting, if we get a sighting of a LEGOmaster in the wild, maybe we'll have them come in. So
I've seen a few of
we'll
them.
have to see.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of Lego Masters, just an addendum to the discussion we had last week about astronauts and doctorates and addressing them as doctor.
Yes,
one of the-
I'm going to give you full screen for this because this is important.
Yeah, this is important. One of the cast that I won't put on blast, they reached out to me and they were like, yeah, we called her Dr. Meyer when she was on set. So they were baffled as to why they didn't address her as Dr. Meyer in the episode or on her title card.
Yeah.
So we have confirmation now that is a thing that happened.
You heard it here on the Brickanista Broadcast Network last week. Remy
And so-
caught that on this show.
You
And
know,
ahoy, ahoy, Brick Jedi. Welcome
and
to
so
the
now
stream.
Lego Masters Fox, the ball's on your court to explain like what is going on.
The editors didn't get the memo,
No.
right? Even though they heard it in the audio, right? It's like, don't worry, nobody will catch it.
Yeah.
Nobody will care.
You
We
know,
care.
We care.
Yeah.
It's a it's a small thing, but it's important. It's a pretty glaring mistake. So,
well, I would think too that she would have been, she would have told them, you need to tell me.
But apparently, they addressed her as doctor.
Yeah.
On the show, so she wouldn't have even known that anything was wrong.
That they would edit it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should get her on the show.
We should.
Ask her. So, doctor.
Our point is, LEGOMasters, don't be weird and misogynistic for no reason, because then we got to talk about it. And
well, you're assuming they're misogynistic when it could have been just an error from the editor. Because, editors go back and forth, it's not necessarily deliberate. So just as a caveat there, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. We're asking you to be closer to the details.
Yeah, Naomi will, I won't. So.
Yeah, exactly, Mairead. It's a long education to be overlooked, and she earned that title. Exactly.
We'll just have to kick it down the road until we get new information. So that's just all.
Right. But at least you heard it here. We verified our facts. Yeah. And Remy was right that she is a doctor, and they forgot to put her title on. So sad trombone for you.
Not cool. But all right, let's look at the Jurassic
Let's dive
Park.
into the episode, shall we?
So they had Blue on the set, which was fun. Had a life-size dinosaur.
Well, is it truly life-size though?
We just have the bones.
I guess the Velociraptors were 6 feet tall, so I guess I'll give that to you.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know how many feathers they had, or what colors they were, but film life size. From the movie, taken and put in.
So the chat is sending accolades your way about catching that, because I certainly wouldn't have known. So and that's a continuity problem. No one is calling.
We're gonna keep following the story. So
yeah, exactly. Investigative reporting of LEGOMasters brought to you.
That's all it is. It's like investigative reporting. Right. It's just like, hey, that's weird. Why'd you do that? And then when nobody, wants to talk about it, you just ask the same question for like 6 months.
Right.
And then write 1,000 words about it. Anyway, let's look at, I think Liz and Aaron were the first ones.
Yeah, Liz and Aaron were first. And I did see there was an Aaron spotting.
We did,
over at the BrickCon. So,
we did see Aaron.
Yeah. We did have an Aaron sighting, and we did have an Emily sighting. I actually talked with Emily and Liam, but she didn't want me to address her as a LEGOmaster. She goes, "I'm just a mom." It was so cute.
Over there yet?
Yeah, who else is there?
We saw Robin too.
I saw Michelle Crafty Life was also hanging out with Aaron, I think, and Emily Lettuce Bricks and her brother Dan. They were here hanging out.
Right.
Yeah, I should really go talk to these people, but I'm still terrible.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's only Thursday.
Yeah, it's only Thursday.
Yeah, and they might stop by here. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have Dan bring them in.
I don't even know what
we're
time.
We're going to put you to work.
I don't know that I have enough clout for that.
Maybe. All you got to do is ask. That's all it takes, right? Okay. So anyway. Here's the food truck fiasco.
Yeah.
So this is the first time Mairead has seen this. First time Dan has seen this. So
and they had 12 hours for this challenge, and they all had to incorporate a different either explosion or sparks or gunpowder trail that was randomly chosen. And this is Liz and Aaron's food truck fiasco, and they did a good job of using the burps and actually on the burps to
giving the hype real quick. Yeah. And that's something that was really important for this episode, is that people really brought tall builds in. And this one was actually more medium sized compared to some of the ones that came in later.
They had a fixed build area. Kind of like in the season 2 version of the challenge, they had the pizza slice, but this was bigger. Yeah. I don't know exactly how big it was, but it looked like at least 4 gray base plates next to each other.
Yeah, it definitely looks pretty big, and that's right. Great rock work, Brick Jedi.
So let's see.
I didn't recognize all of those birds until now that you've put that screenshot up.
Yeah, but the idea behind this build was the food trucks are near this diamond mine, and the dinosaurs have taken a liking to the food trucks.
They can smell the food.
Yeah, they can smell the food. This one is definitely a little confused, but his heart is in the right place.
I like the fact that it's a taco truck, and they made it a taco truck and a hot dog truck. And,
this taco is really great, by the way.
Yeah,
like, you can tell exactly what it is, and just everything is on it. And this lady, it's blurry, but she's about to lose her turkey leg.
I wonder if these guys read the book Only Dragons Love Tacos.
I have not heard that book.
Heard that.
I read it to my daughter just yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Dragons love tacos.
Dragons love
hate
tacos.
Spicy sauce.
Oh. Is that the name of the book?
Dragons Love Tacos is the name of the book.
That's very cute.
See? New information here. I'm actually going to write this down.
So yeah, these dinosaurs are stampeding and setting off this dynamite here. Here's this dynamite.
Yeah, the dynamite stick is awesome.
And then here's,
yeah, the diamonds just shooting up in the air. That was so cool.
This is where we kind of have to battle the lens flare and the smoke, etc. Because like this is the shot. This was the shot we got. Yeah. A lot of the builds, like the explosion would happen, and then it would just be smoke. It's just thick smoke everywhere. So
it was a good way to start. And they were seemed like they were surprised that they were going first. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
My guess is the smoke is probably partially chemical due to the fact that the Lego is melting and turning into vapors.
Oh.
Possibly. It was just hard. It just made it hard to see, what was going on.
Yeah. And Maria agrees with you about that book. She does a lot of work with young kids, but they don't like spicy sauce.
No.
Which seems odd because dragons breathe fire, right?
Well, it's spicy sauce that makes their tummies upset.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
Look
was
that. Oh, I'm sorry.
I like that shot there just because it gives all the glitter effect.
Yeah.
Because of all
the diamond mine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's actually a pretty decent shot there. It could be better from a flare but it's hard for cameras to adjust that fast to such a bright flash so quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like it's like a real departure from the past kind of destruction challenges where they've, built Lego on the inside that would explode in such a way that, you would see that contrast between the inside and the outside of the build. And in this, like, it's just like the physical explosion is like the centerpiece.
Right. It's kind of cool with the dinosaur image in the background too.
Yeah.
For this particular shot. Yeah.
All right.
It's all about the drama shot.
Yeah, exactly. The money shot, as they call it. And this next one is just amazing, the scale that they got on this.
Yeah, so here's Brendan and Greg's Why Did the Brontosaurus Cross the Road? And this was, I was just personally confused by this build the first time I thought, because I thought that this was like toilet paper.
It kind of looks like toilet paper from this angle.
Yeah, it does look like that, but they said it was like an electrical compressor, right? Or something.
If you, let's see, there's a shot of this. Yeah, you can clearly see it says oil on it.
Oil tanker. Oh, okay.
And this was, this was a tough shape. It's like a cylinder with a slash cut down the middle.
Yeah, they did amazing sculpting on this.
It was really interesting because the edit was Liam and Emily talking about, they wanted to have this moving, or Liam wanted to have this moving dinosaur, and Emily's like, no, let's cut it down. We can't do that in that time. And then they immediately cut to Brendan and Greg going like, all right, we're going to build a massive dinosaur. And
the scale is just amazing. And
it's not going to move, but it's going to be 10 times larger.
Yeah.
I was surprised though that they didn't. I guess I don't want to give out spoilers just yet, but let's just say I was surprised at their ranking. I'll call it that way. Yeah.
Okay. So the Brontosaurus crossed the road. I don't remember this story 100%. It involved a lady dinosaur.
Yeah, I think that's why he's turning his head. I thought.
Okay.
He was distracted because there was a lady dinosaur that was coming his way.
It's hard to pick up just from what you're seeing there, because if you're trying to storytell, you want a little bit more elements to give kind of context. Why is he turning? He could be turning for a million different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's, I think they had to explain that. Yeah. It wasn't actually specifically shown in that shot.
I wonder if they started out like, let's build 2 massive dinosaurs.
They could have. Yeah. You never know. They might have.
But yeah, I also thought it was fun that the you can see that it is stepped in the oil and it's kind of like tracking it everywhere. I just thought that was very funny.
I didn't notice that before. Now, is that Duplo that they're also using to get that scale so fast?
No, this is all
system. Wow. Because after talking to Robin Sather, that he uses Duplo a lot for his sculpting because you can get massive builds in a short amount of time too.
Yes, but his builds are also like the size of a human or larger.
Yeah. Definitely. So Maraid says, I assumed he was turning around because he broke the electrical wires.
Yeah, I was like, whoops, sorry.
Like, what's that?
Classic.
It would have been, maybe instead of seeing another dinosaur, like maybe he saw some food, like, whoa, maybe I need to go over there and eat that. Yeah, I think it was an interesting choice too, going with the red and the orangish yellow. That, in most dinosaurs, you see them as gray or you see them as greenish. And so I thought this was also a bold use of color too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, look at some of the favorite colors of animals we have nowadays. Just to say what colors they were back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's our explosion, and again, it's just a mess of smoke. what is even happening?
Yeah, I agree with Brick Jedi. Some more trees would have filled it out nicely. It seemed like they're in the desert, right?
Yeah, Maraid, that is also a good point. Storytelling is hard. Sorry, Naomi.
That's okay.
Storytelling is hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always this week we're not picking apart the build so much as we're picking apart. Well, I'm picking apart like just the technical execution of these explosions. Like this is too much smoke. Effects department. That's who we're talking to now.
So, do you think LEGOMasters production is actually listening to our podcast?
If they do see this in the, I'm sure they had a meeting after this episode and be like, well, this isn't exactly what we wanted. We'll adjust it for next time. Yeah.
Hopefully what came out of that is like, maybe we need to hire a pyrotechnic specialist.
Yeah.
That would be good. I would think they would have one already. But the other thing, now that you look at it this way, that oil tanker looks like a Rolodex.
It does look a little bit like a Rolodex.
Yeah. Doesn't it look like a Rolodex?
Yeah.
And I know I'm dating myself now, but if it would almost be funny. Yeah, exactly. It's like, most people here know what a Rolodex is.
Okay, so kids, a Rolodex, like you have your phone, okay, and you have all your contacts in your phone.
You roll it. These are the contacts. Yeah.
Once upon a time, people used the phone to actually call other people and talk to them.
Swipe left, swipe right. Yeah. Yeah. All that.
So that used to be where you would store all your phone numbers.
I know. I got to stop making references like that. People like saying, "Oh, how old are you?"
Maybe you should just own them.
Oh, I should own it. I'm owning it now. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, again, a lot of teams in this episode, so they just kind of went real quick with these builds. So we don't have a ton of shots of the builds. But again, massive dinosaur. What else do you need? But anyway, good job, Brendan and Greg. Sorry. And
these are the brothers, right?
These are not brothers.
They're friends?
I think they are friends. These are the ones with the stop motion production company.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
See, last season they really focused hard on siblings. There were like, what, 3 or 4 different, well, there were 3 brothers. And
traffic delays.
It's like, everybody was related last season. It was weird.
Exactly. It was like a sister and brother, and then the 3 brothers. They didn't have 2 sisters, which kind of irritated me. But yeah. All right. So Dino Traffic Delays.
Yeah. This is John and Xavier's.
Yeah.
And they had it set up so that this train car would move down the track and then land here in this tanker truck and explode, and then kind of explode over here as well.
Right.
So
make yourself at home.
The idea was like these pteranodons, I guess they're called, have torn up this train track, and then the Triceratops have blocked the road. So I really enjoyed this detail of the driver like fleeing the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is probably the most cinematic of the builds that we saw, where they actually intentionally had the movement and the eye moving across, so you knew exactly what they were trying to portray. So I loved this build.
Yeah, and a few of the teams tried this movement, but John and Xavier definitely they nailed it.
Oh, they were also very stressed about it.
Yeah,
they were like,
they tested it like 50 times. I thought they were going to over test it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, here's here's the first explosion. It's kind of hard to see. Here's our train car, and then there's this second explosion here.
And definitely Brick Jedi. They really focused on the prompt of the build, and Mairead said, this one had a clear story too.
Yep.
Yeah, and the explosions were beautiful. I mean, it was like the cascading effect, right? They had the first explosion go off when it hit the tanker, and then the building went off afterwards. It was really well done.
Yeah, it just needs to hire pyrotechnic specialists to let them know this is how much you're going to have to set your cameras in order to be able to see things with the correct lighting.
Right.
And this also was an aspect that I forgot to mention before, but if some teams had explosions and some had fireballs, and when they had either of those things, it would happen twice. So like having that sequence is really important.
Yeah, and it was funny too because the firemen got the fireball. Just it was so classic when they responded to that.
But yeah, you can see everything. Here's our Triceratops Traffic Jam.
Yeah.
Which is fun. There's a guy like taking pictures here.
Now, what's interesting about this, if you look at the scale of this, they went with the minifig style dinosaurs instead of trying to brick build them. And even though it was smaller, it had more effect because it really captured the story to it. Because if you look at the height of this, it's not that tall compared to some of the other builds.
Yeah, but they use a space kit, like having the bridge here. The bridge, it probably didn't take them a lot of time to build that, and it took up a lot of space. So.
They spent most of their time on the motion and the sequence of events.
Yeah.
But if the motion didn't work, then the build itself was probably pretty lackluster compared to the others.
Yeah.
The explosions really saved them on this one.
Yeah, we're glad it worked.
They are too.
Yeah, they were so relieved. They were so stressed about it that Fox put an ad break in between, like when they started the car and when the car finished. So
appropriately placed.
Yeah.
For
just at the height of tension. Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, that's all from John and Xavier. All right. Up next is Steven and Steven, and this is Denny's accident. And this is, again, this, we have the sun in the background here because they couldn't turn the sun off. But yeah, this is Denny, and he's their original idea was to have the dinosaur like breaking through a wall and setting off the explosion that way. But it didn't quite come together.
Well, the other thing, and this kind of goes back to my earlier point, and Brick Jedi, thank you for agreeing with me. The only large dinosaur they had was the one brick-built dinosaur, and it's about 3 stories tall. And if you compare that to the other brick-built dinosaur that we saw earlier, I mean, this was also pretty small by comparison.
Just what I can make out of the dinosaur, it looks pretty simple.
Yeah, compared to the orange and the red one.
That's
not very good sculpting.
No, but the way that the explosions are, the timing of catching it, and actually catch the fireballs, that's amazing.
That is really good.
And not only that, that has some really good color to it, even from the overall everywhere background.
Yeah. And what's the name of the lab on the right? Is it Vector Labs? See, the font is a little kind of funky. UC Tar? Uktar?
Uktar?
I think they're trying to do Octan. I think it's an Octan.
So it might be partially apocalyptic.
Or it could be Octan and then the things fell off.
Well, maybe they weren't allowed to actually say octane.
Oh, that could be.
Maybe there was a weird,
some sort of copyright.
Weird like that, yeah.
See, this is where we'd have to ask them. We'd have to ask. So Stephen and Stephen. Yeah. Was it supposed to be Octan or not?
This is why, Liz and Aaron are wearing shirts that say baseball.
And they say Boston on them.
Sports. They just happen to be, Boston team color logos, but they say baseball.
Yeah, they can't do any brands.
Yeah. So
I think it's a nod to Octan.
Yeah.
That's what makes sense about what would be in there that would explode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely the color scheme and everything. But yeah, that's brutal that their laboratory got set on fire. Here's one from kind of the reverse angle. And this was like the Lego was burning.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
What's that?
Miniature mushrooms. As far as the mushroom clouds.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you meant? The mushroom cloud? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Brick Jedi agrees with me. Octan.
Octan. All right.
It's got the same colors.
Oh, look, it's Zach Martinez.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, happy BrickCon. Yes.
A merry BrickCon to all.
Actually, technically, it just started today at 6:30, and it was a really good turnout so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got most of my stuff back together. It was great.
I still have to work on mine, but my rotating noodle bowl is working, and my rotating sign. So
yeah,
I was happy with that.
Okay, so let's move on to Nick and Stacy, and this is Night of the Living Dinosaurs. This was a fun concept because they were both here. Like, this is Stacy in a dinosaur costume and in a Lego costume.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this Triceratops kind of attacking the house.
Looks brick built.
Yeah, this is, do you know Brick and Nick? He's I think going to be here later. I didn't see him yet, but
look at that.
Yeah.
The expressions on their faces are like, I love the style, but I don't.
The anime style.
That's a brick built face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely.
Cool. I like how they
Brick and
use.
Nick. Yeah.
I like how they use the dots to get
for the
right
expression
shape
of the mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and there's you can see the dinosaur teeth here on the roof of the costume and the eyes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really adorable. And I like the little pumpkins too that they made. The jack-o'-lantern.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
That's a great story piece.
Yeah, and if you go back to the wide shot too, you'll see the brick-built dinosaur, the Triceratops, over there on the right. And
I have some better shots of this.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Nick does some amazing work, and I don't know Stacy's background with regard to making characters, but this is definitely Nick's strength. And they're Canadian too. So don't forget, last week we decided we're doing gold, silver, and bronze like the Olympics, since we have 3 countries represented for the first time.
Keeping the medal counts.
Yeah, since they judge people just by first place, we're gonna do medal counts at the very end of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll give everybody our top 3, and we'll see how it turned out.
Mm-hmm. So they had sparks, and so the Triceratops is kind of doing something with the power lines or attacking them or something.
Yeah.
So you have this spark generator here, and then the one on top of the power lines.
Yeah, and I think Brick Jedi brings up a good point too. Is that it's a good concept, but the dinosaur was really small compared to the house.
Yeah.
So you don't think so?
No, I think that's
You think so?
realistic size.
For a Triceratops?
Oh yeah.
I would have liked to have seen it bigger though.
It's weird because the house is it's scaled to those children, so it's like not Miniland scale, but it's
Maxi-Fig. Not quite Maxi-Fig.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between those scales. So, yeah, just that in itself is really interesting.
And Maraid's waiting for Nick to flex a bit more because he can build a big dinosaur. I know. I was kind of disappointed by that too, because if you watch Brick and Nick on Twitch, he has the capability of making some amazing large items, and maybe he just wanted more detail, which is why he did it this way.
Yeah, so more dinosaur, less house. Good rule to follow.
Well, plus I would have expected the house to have been more destructed or
destroyed.
Broken. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's hard to integrate the sparks into the build. Like the spark on top of this power pole, that makes sense.
Right.
But the other one that they had to put in there, I'm not sure it quite makes sense. At least, well, there's we can see like this is a downed power line, but it's like right next to it, and they didn't, when they were talking about it, they didn't highlight that really. So
the destruction is not so much the house, but the power lines.
The
kind
power
of
lines.
you're going to generate from knocking through a house.
Right. But you would think that since it's LEGOMasters that they want more drama, that maybe that. But the other thing that we haven't talked about yet is how they were planning this out, and then Stacy decided to go check with some of the other teams. Made Aaron and Liz pivot because they were going to do power lines as well.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, because they were all thinking like, I'm sure that everyone that got sparks was thinking power lines. So, but Liz and Aaron had a good pivot. So
it's interesting that a lot of the damage, it seems like people attribute to these dinosaurs is running into things, like running through a building or running through a house. The more realistic one, in my assessment, would be the bigger dinosaur running through power lines because they can't see them. But what animal do you know is going to just crash into a house or crash into a pole? They look like trees. They would navigate around them.
Yeah. Good
point. They might whip their tail around and accidentally knock it over. That could be realistic, but they're not going to charge through it.
Yeah, I think that's what the firefighters were trying to do, is that they were talking about the tail whipping into another building. And
I could see that
see
that being realistic.
But this
scenario.
And I do think that this is just really, the color scheme is just very cute, right? Very colorful and cute.
Well, but again, we don't know if they had feathers. We don't know if they like to run into things. There's so much we don't know about dinosaurs, and we just have to speculate. So
true.
But here's a closer look of the Triceratops. This is definitely just a great brick-built creature. Just really, like, every part of it is in motion. So I think that is, that's all I have for.
And we should also mention that we've been watching Brick and Nick's Twitch stream at 6:30 He streams the same time we do on Thursdays. So we may be pivoting to another day, but the other point that they brought up in their stream is that they came in second place, and they put that out completely in the first week because apparently the firefighters said some profanity on the air, and because of that they had to like cut it, and so you never heard who the second place winners were.
Yeah.
So Nick and Stacy came in second place, and they were saying they never showed that. So I wanted to just mention that, yeah, apparently we picked a popular time to stream normally, but be prepared that we're going to try to incorporate some of their feedback from their stream, which is on Nick's Brick and Nick's Twitch channel. Yeah, 6:30 on Thursday.
But yeah, that was hilarious. Like Steven shut down. Like they swore so hard that they couldn't use any of those takes, and they finally said, "You know what? Screw it. Cut around it." You know, because
because they had to. I mean, I guess they could have bleeped it, but I guess
we just spent like 30 seconds of like, you know, it's. But,
yeah, I can't believe we bleepity.
yeah. Again, you know, if anyone wants to, you know, send us that footage kind of on the DL.
we'll redact it for you. Yeah. We'll do the bleeps.
Anyway, we're getting a little off topic, but we'll have to add a not posthumous, but we'll have to add a we'll have to add a Canadian silver medal retroactively for week 1.
We can maybe build one. We should build one while we're here and give it to Rick and Nick and Stacy.
They would have no context for that interaction. They'd be like, "What is happening? Why did we get this?"
And we start singing the Olympic song too.
Yeah. They'd be like, "What is happening in America? We didn't know it was this bad when we came down here."
No, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll just add it to the medal count at the end. And now we'll move on. All right.
Yes.
Here's Dave and Emily's Fossil Fuels, this was a cute. I love the fossil fuels and the overall build. Because this was another one where they had a car like ramming into a dinosaur and setting off an explosion, but they kind of stayed on the street, so it wasn't that clear until they showed like the after shot here. So yeah, here's just the initial explosion.
And this is another Canadian team as well.
Yeah.
I do like their buildings.
I
think they were making it very, very much like an assembly square almost.
Yeah, their buildings, their facades were pretty good. So here's our driver who has seen the dinosaurs and is freaked out. Sorry, that's a shot. And let me find it. Yeah. So here it like ran along this track into this dinosaur, and then the explosion would happen.
Right.
But yeah, this is a good shot because you can see this park here is pretty fun with the fountain and all. I like these people are just chilling on this park bench while all this is going on. So that's cool.
It's like, dinosaurs? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not concerned about this.
They probably have been to the park already.
Saw Jurassic Park already.
Yeah, exactly. and I agree with you, Brick Jedi. Definitely a super clean build on that.
Yeah, that's I love it when there's no studs showing. That makes me very happy.
Put a lot of detail in there. Yeah.
So let's see. There really isn't. Yeah. We've got this shot of the kind of explosive here.
But I think it goes back to the story, is that if you look back and just look at the build, you don't really know what the story is, unlike some of the other builds.
They're taking out the gas station because they're pissed off because we're using their bodies as fuel for our cars.
But they're already dead.
Man,
not those ones.
Not the ones that have been regenerated from amber. Hey,
I wish that was a story.
Here. Hey, Yin Yang, how's it going?
Man,
Glad you got the memo that we're streaming live from the Maxwell Hotel. Yeah, we might do a couple of episodes. We're going to see how things go this week because we have run into some of the Lego Masters, and I think they're actually going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, but
there's
rumor has it that they're going to be streaming tomorrow sometime.
There's also a panel, so we can go watch the panel.
That's true. We could be in the panel. In fact, we should bring that up as a question for the panel. What do you think about the editing and why the female astronaut didn't get the doctor title?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask, like, because they asked this on season 1, like, how do you feel that you were portrayed in the show? And people had mixed feelings about that, like about that editing.
Right.
But, you know.
No, I'm talking about what you caught that most people in the audience will not even remember.
Oh, but we have their answer. We're just waiting for, like, Fox's answer, basically.
Well, no, that's
We're
true.
waiting on Brad Pitt.
I'm just talking about if we bring it up in the meeting tomorrow, you know, at the panel, that the people in the audience will not know. Only our viewers know.
Only our viewers
Our viewers know this, but most people don't know about this.
Yeah, so if you're at home, you can put that index card up on your wall, and you can put a red string on it, and we'll connect it to something else later. But you can add that to your wall. You know, you can write on it like Dr. Meyer ? And then just save that for the future. You know.
Starting to scare me, Remy.
All right. Anyway, here's Austin and Justin again with the best pun of the week. You know, fossil fuels was good. A streetcar named Disaster is even better. They had fireballs, and I don't remember what their story was because they didn't. They talked to them for like 2 seconds. These are the doctors. Oh, that's right.
They got the doctor title, huh?
Well, they are pediatricians, yeah.
Pediatricians, you know.
And they wear scrubs on the show. That's their shtick. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this pteranodon has cut the fuel line and is like dragging fuel all over the place. So that's why it's exploded here.
Very appropriate for gasoline.
Yeah. So here's this one fireball.
I like how they captured those shots.
Yeah. They did, you know, they gave us the initial shot and then they went back over it in slow motion from like a couple of different angles. So there's that at least.
And the one thing from slow motion cameras is they actually, because they're capturing at a much higher rate, it actually drops the ambient light detection down so they can focus on what they're actually. So it's actually darker. So
that's like
that's
the 60 frames
that's why
per second.
You can actually see the fireball the way that you can, and you see the definition of what you're looking at.
Oh, Brick Jedi brings up a good point. Unfinished buildings, though.
Yeah, honestly, like who cares about all this internal structure? Just do that side. You know, I'm sure when they were building it, they were like, okay, we'll just build it from this angle. And, you know, we'll be nice to the crew this week so they don't show the one angle where we didn't finish those buildings. Like, thanks, guys. You know, you really hosed us on that one.
They put the ivy on the wall. That was kind of nice. Break it up a little bit.
Like, they could have shot this from the other angle and seen the fireball just as clearly. I don't know why they choose to film it from the one like bad angle here.
Well, maybe that's the point, is they're showing that it's an incomplete build.
Yeah, but like I don't think many of the other teams finished their buildings, or they really shouldn't have, you know. That's just, like, you're just wasting time, honestly, on all this internal structure. When you're gonna see, where is it, that initial shot? Like this is all you need. Like, yeah, that's what you need, you know.
The facade.
Yeah.
This backdrop.
So anyway, guys, be nicer to the crew next week, I guess. But great build.
I like how they brought in some flying dinosaurs, because many of the builds didn't have the flying dinosaurs. I think we saw them in Liz and Aaron's.
The very first one.
Yeah, Liz and Aaron had some, on the mind, but we didn't see as many flying dinosaurs.
Yeah, Liz and Aaron, John and Xavier. I guess that's it so far.
Yeah, so kudos to the team here for having a combination.
Yeah, and they rebounded this week, so yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who didn't see previous episodes, the doctors, they did not. They were in the bottom 2, so they were lucky to make it to this episode.
Yeah, they're in the bottom 2 last week.
They were humbled, yes.
All right. So speaking of flying dinosaurs, here's Christine and Michelle's Fiesta Crashers. And this is someplace in Mexico.
I love the water. I just love the detail they put on the water. Yeah.
The rock work is great. Like this is the kind of rock work you do when you just need to freaking knock out a mountain in like 2 hours, and then they like decorated it so you can't really see the kind of rough sculpting on that there. So that was great.
Yeah, I love the color palette that they used for this too.
Okay, here's a better shot with like better lighting. Yeah, so you can see these dinosaurs have grabbed these power lines and are dragging them all over the place. So, and I believe this rotated, like these pteranodons and the
yeah, they put motion in there.
Starting to think these dinos have a fetish for power lines.
Electricity, to the dinosaur, electricity is a rare delicacy, so they crave it. Yeah, they didn't have it back in dinosaur times.
It's like, what is this? Ooh, it has some pop to it.
It's
spicy.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't kill a giant dinosaur. It
would just tickle for them, right? They'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, they'd get high off it or
the
something.
guy who would stick his fingers in the outlet in Germany.
Yeah.
Because the 230 hertz, the 230 volt, 50 hertz.
Oh, because
just tickled.
Wow.
And he would giggle about it.
And there you have it, folks.
Yeah, again, we have to speculate because we don't know, how many feathers, whether they like to bash into things, whether they enjoyed electricity.
But they were in simpler, quieter times. Yeah. They didn't have Tinder back then. Right?
No.
Tinder for dinosaurs.
Dinosaur Tinder would have been wild. But yeah, here's this, like, you can see the Mexican flag. They did a pretty cool job with this crest detail.
Was so nice. They really represent really well. Yeah.
So let's see.
And I want to get some of these dinosaurs, these pterodactyls. I need to start.
Yeah, you can see there were. I think this is a new one in one of the recent wave of sets. There's like the airplane, and you get one of these, and it's $40. So.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm partial to brick belt ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
for a competition like this. Do you brick build dinosaurs?
I brick build things. I have a bunch of dinos from like the Dino Attack series, but I don't use them. More or less, the sets were purchased from a collectible standpoint.
Right.
But I actually appreciate more brick built things, and you can do as decent a job.
Yeah. Now, do you all have a favorite dinosaur? Because my favorite dinosaur has always been Ankylosaurus.
It's a toss up for me between Triceratops and Stegosaurus.
Okay.
Boy, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think for cuteness factor, I'd have to go with. Cute. But they are cute. Like the Triceratops, it's so adorable, right?
Yeah.
And also for lovability would be the Brontosaurus, right?
Oh, Brontosaurus. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're just goofy and just like Dino the dinosaur from Flintstones was also like a Brontosaurus, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think those two, and they're also not very violent. But if you are looking for the drama, then T-Rex, right? I mean, classic.
I think we've just alienated the entire Brontosaurus community because, like, all they talk about is Dino. Dino's not our representative of the community, But all the humans talk about is Dino. When are we going to have more Brontosaurus representation?
Well, I will say that the Brontosaurus that was built by that other team. Which team?
Brendan and Greg.
Yeah, Brendan and Greg. That one is a Brontosaurus, right? That it has some diversity with color.
Yeah.
It's a dinosaur of color, so a dog, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with Murray that T-Rex or a sneaky raptor. I mean, because they're smart too, right? The raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be good hunters.
If you read the book too, that the Velociraptor at one point was actually hanging on the side of the ship when the ship was leaving the island. It's like for like several chapters.
Yeah, that's just the plot of Aliens,
Well, I mean, didn't you watch Lego Movie with? And he had smart Velociraptors in there.
Yeah. No, I think
running all the computers.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the Velociraptors are, I think, they were not as well known until the Jurassic Park movies came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but from what I've heard from people, that the Velociraptors of Jurassic Park are more or less made up. Jurassic Park. The Velociraptors of reality were a lot smaller and likely
like birds.
Basically like the early birds.
So you got your answer there, Remy.
Well,
favorite dinosaurs.
The Velociraptor community is like, well, that movie needed a villain, so of course it's the Velociraptor.
But
that doesn't represent us. It's not realistic.
That's true. The follow-up, remember, Blue was actually a hero.
Yeah.
Ooh. I have not. I saw Jurassic Park.
They went from villains to heroes.
Yeah.
Only the very first one shows him as the villain. The second one is a complete made-up Velociraptor T-Rex.
Yeah, the reboot when they decided to bring in a new cast, that the Velociraptors were also more like a family almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've only seen the first Jurassic Park.
What?
Oh.
Dude.
No,
seriously.
It's like
you need to see the newer ones.
No, it's like that first Dune book. Like I read the first Dune book. That's all I needed to read. It was great. Jurassic Park was great. I don't feel the need to watch all the other movies.
It's a complete story, and they wrap it up in the very end.
That's good.
You gotta see it.
Well, maybe I'll bump it up the list.
You should consider at least watching a few more, not just the first one.
They're definitely not without their own shortcomings.
Right.
But
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a good watch.
Yeah. All right. Brick Jedi says Indoraptor.
Oh.
Okay. Are you trying to say indoor raptor? What is that?
The Indoraptor was the one that they had in the
second or the third one. Yeah.
Second series.
Okay.
I think the Indoraptor is the one that flares out and it got Ned, the one that spits acidic, right? Isn't that the one, Brick Jedi? That one's actually kind of funny.
Yeah. Are you talking about the movie Aliens again?
No, it was Jurassic Park. Remember when Ned takes the Barbasol can and he ends up in the Indoraptor's cage, and he's got mud all over his face, and then the Indoraptor comes out and flares its little mane, and then it spits into his face.
It's been way too long since I've seen it.
Oh, I think at Brick Jedi, you'll have to keep me honest here. Is that the one you're talking about? The Indoraptor? I think that's the one. That one. Right. Yeah. Dan's on it. Dan's doing the research.
That's good. All right, let's stop looking at dinosaur butts and look at this explosion. Because I think they had the gunpowder trail, and again, this is just we've got the smoke monster from Lost is the true star of the show, unfortunately.
They're trying to redo Nessie. That's what they're doing.
Oh, interesting.
No, I'm just.
So you can kind of see the explosion. Like it started here and it kind of went across here. So it looked cool, but ultimately, like again, they didn't really spend any time on Christine and Michelle's build.
Yeah, I think they get to a point where you can tell the ones that they spend more time on, they're either going to be in the top or they're going to be at the bottom. And everybody in the middle just goes boom, 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 boom. Right?
Okay. So moving on, we'll look at Aziza and Eddie's roar. And not to be confused with RAWR, because RAWR means I love you in Dinosaur, and ROAR means I want to intimidate you. I will destroy you and devour
Coming
you.
from the translator of Dinosaur, brick literacy.
Well, again, this is our limited understanding of dinosaurs, so we're just speculating. But
okay.
But yeah, so here's apparently they took their little sister to see Jurassic Park, and she roared relentlessly at the crowd, as kids are wont to do.
This was so confusing to me. This whole build. I just didn't. I was expecting that they were going to build a big movie screen and have the dinosaur like popping through it, maybe. I don't know. I guess because they were just trying to recreate them going to the movies and her sister, or their sister, turning around and roaring to the audience.
Yeah. The Interrupter was the large genetically modified one.
The genetically modified one. Oh, okay.
That was the one from the second
reboot
series.
Yeah, that's the one with it was in the lab, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to know now which is the one that got eaten, that ate Ned. Right? Was this guy Ned?
Yeah. Was it just a bearded dragon that was just big, or no?
It's a specific type of dragon. I remember.
We will.
Okay.
We're on the case.
Okay. What's the name of the dragon that ate Ned?
Yes, right. In Jurassic Park.
But yeah, anyway, this is like an outdoor theater that the dinosaur is crashing through here. And this is a pretty good brick built dinosaur, and it did like move side to side.
The Dilophosaurus.
Yep, that's the one.
The Dilophosaurus. So I might have to put in a vote for the Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus.
Underrated, overlooked, but deadly and funny.
It had a cute squeak.
And a hero in many ways. Getting rid of it.
But yeah, this is we've got our outdoor movie theater here, and the people are running away in terror. Mostly. There's see, here we go. There's she's roaring at the audience, and she's trying to get her to not do that, get her to not embarrass her in a public setting. But her roar has attracted the other dinosaurs, and they are stampeding.
I think this goes back to scale too, that we were talking about, that they really focus on minifig scale. And though I do like that, brick built dinosaur that they put together in the back. But it was just so small of everything else compared to that.
They wanted to put that personal touch in, but they have like 2 football fields to cover, and they're like, you will do all of this, cover the whole thing.
I almost can't tell if that's a giant gecko.
A giant gecko instead. It's also, this is the team that is full of smiles, and they always say smile check.
Yeah, this one is sleeping.
Yeah, but the smile check, even the dinosaur is smiling. I mean, do a close up of this dinosaur's face.
Well, it's not,
so happy. That's a happy dinosaur.
Well, maybe this is a version of roar. Maybe. Somewhere between I love you and dinosaur and I will devour you. But yeah, I like this guy, like grabbing all the hot dogs as he's fleeing.
Mhm.
That's fun. That's good.
I didn't see that
good
detail.
foresight.
That's funny.
And what I think is missing from all of this is Godzilla and dynamite coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, nobody thought to put the sparks.
Nobody did
like,
Godzilla.
nobody put the sparks like in the mouth and that way.
Totally made
That's
a kaiju.
yeah, that's true. Kaiju's
But
did
the
that.
well, I don't know if even that was technically possible. I don't know if like they had to be oriented a certain specific way or what.
It kind of looks like they are.
They could have done it with the kaiju on its back, spitting up the.
That's true.
They could have done that.
Well, they could have had a story with
Mhm.
Godzilla doing it down the mouth of another kaiju.
Well, but then that's a different, that's a whole different.
Or you could have King Kong in there, some giant ape.
All right, now we're just throwing out just wild things. What's happening?
We're saying what we would like to see.
It's like
Okay.
backseat driving, right?
Yeah, this is like, instead of telling this personal story about yourself next time, get Kong. We wanted Kong
Well,
in this one.
Though, in our defense, part of our banter here is what could have been done. Maybe we don't know. Maybe they said you can't have the dinosaurs lying on their back. You have to have it face forward or for the camera shot. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But I think it would have been fun to have the sparks coming out of the mouth. That's a great point.
Yeah, well, we can ask him that tomorrow. Like, did you have to use the things in a certain way? But this is actually like a good use of the sparks because they're on a stage, where you would expect pyrotechnics to be.
I would have rather seen that with like a dinosaur band.
I was going to say a Dino Rock.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Dino Rock Band.
Dude.
Dino Rock Band.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could have been fun.
That would have been hilarious. You could have had, several dinosaurs, one on the bass and one on the drums.
Really, if any of the teams had built a dinosaur rock band,
that would have been hilarious.
amazing.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just
it's always, afterwards, right? Backseat drivers,
backseat builders.
armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yep, that's us. But that's, if you go back for a moment, that also shows you the scale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That those sparks just dwarf the entire build. Yeah. Yeah, you got to go tall. Definitely got to go tall if you're going to compete on the show.
Yes, so much space.
Yeah. Both horizontally and vertically, though.
Yeah.
With the way that one looks like, it almost like this is a massive field, and that's an idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're worshiping.
They're worshiping the idol.
Temple.
Especially
temple
with the
floor.
sparks flying now, too. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but anyway, it's like a fun story. It's probably not a funny story when it happens, but it's a funny story that you can tell to people like now.
And there is such a cute partnership too with sister and brother, and the smile check, and they're just smiling and happy and uplifting, right? It's nice to see people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they were fun to have on the show, spoiler alert, but it just didn't come together.
You used the term "were." No.
Yeah.
And
the build
I
just
agree,
didn't come
Brick Jedi.
together.
Too much open space.
Too much, it's a great, like, this is an amazing vignette,
Well, it also
They
makes
didn't
you
need
think,
all that space to tell the story.
in 12 hours time, compared to some of the other builds in 12 hours time, it made you think, well, what were they spending so much time on? It must have been the brick built dinosaur, because everything else on that you could build in 45 minutes, maybe.
Well, yeah, and it had motion, so I'm sure that took
That
a bit
probably
of time as well. So
took the time away.
yeah, just didn't come together as well as it could have been. But we love.
Really nice to see builds that don't need motion to still create a story.
Right. But this one, you could tell it just was dwarfed vertically and horizontally, and they must have spent all their time on the motion and the brick building, because everything else you can do pretty quickly.
All right, so let's move on to Emily and Liam. Mosasaurus Mayhem.
I
And
love the detail in this.
You know, this is like, this is just such a great concept. We've seen teams do this in the past for different challenges, where they'll build, like I'm thinking of, I think it was in Australia where they had a scene by the train tracks and somebody built a crocodile, like just the jaws of a crocodile coming out.
They did that with LEGOMasters New Zealand too, and one of the they had I think the crocodile head for one of the islands.
That must be what I'm thinking of. Sorry, New Zealand. Didn't mean to Australia.
Yeah.
I'm about to get
those two confused. Yeah.
Oh, you get so many angry emails. Anyway, but yeah, like this concept of just seeing the jaws is really fun.
And just look at the eye too. They had a close up of the eye during the show. I mean, the realism of the eye there, and just I think that came from a Spinjitzu set, right? Those discs.
Yeah, possibly. There's a couple of discs here. Yeah, I don't know what this massive gold one is.
But the colors here, and I like how the teeth were not perfectly aligned, that they're, a little askew.
Nope. And they have a Pteranodon in there.
Oh.
What's that?
There's a flying one in there.
Yeah, that's right, because they were saying that was like the bait that the Mosasaurus was going after, and also took out the houseboat.
Yeah, the houseboat was it doesn't generate electricity, so it's not interested in the houseboat. It's just collateral damage.
It's also a water dinosaur, so maybe it's not as interested in electricity.
Possibly.
Unless it's an electric eel.
Yeah. All right, so here's this.
We're just like speculating. Like, what would happen if dinosaurs really loved electricity?
Yeah, the paleontology community is like, they've turned off the stream in disgust. Like, we know things about dinosaurs, people.
There's a guy in Sort Leg, Doug. I can't remember Doug's last name, but he is big into dinosaurs, and actually I think studied paleontology for a few years. So we might have to ask him about, what do you think dinosaurs would do if electricity was brought into the equation?
Yeah. Would they feed off it and grow ever stronger?
Who knows? Or would they sit down in a square in front of a square box and stare at it all day?
I've had hamsters chew on electrical wires before, so if they can handle
rabbits
it,
too. Rabbits do that too. Yeah. And cats. What was it? Christmas Vacation. That classic scene. Chevy Chase.
No.
The cat.
Yeah, right now the cat community is like, we do that. We own that, That's true. Anyway, here's this.
You're really coming to the defense of all these communities, Remy. This isn't a representation of us.
No, the cats are like, this is us. I'm just plugged into all these, communities, But here's this brick built figure that it's splitting the wreckage, which is fun. I wonder if they had to add this to show that the human not getting devoured.
Maybe, or yet. Could be coming. But Mairead also brings up a good point that Sort Lug is tomorrow. So if Doug is on that Sort Lug call tomorrow, we can ask him.
Yeah. We should really be writing down all these questions. So these are
one's gonna fireball
want to know. But yeah, here's our fireball.
Yeah, this is so great.
Let's see. Yeah, there's another shot. Like, this is, that's the only shot you need right there. Amazing. This this really bothers me. This transition here, from the head to the snout.
Yeah, too smooth for you.
No, yeah, that's just me like nitpicking, but yeah, this is like.
Can you zoom in on that just a little bit? I'm just curious about how they. Okay, so they use a combination of dots. It looks like to give that texture.
Yeah, just some
Some
dots and
plates.
plates.
It almost like they ran out of time to cover all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, the structure, I'm sure it took them forever.
And remember too that Liam was talking to his mom about doing a really big dinosaur, and she said, remember what happened last time? Let's scale it back. And they were one of the few that did a partial dinosaur versus the others. But the scale is just huge. I mean, look at the size of that dinosaur. I mean, that mosasaur looks amazing.
Yeah, it definitely works for them.
And they're the only one that went with a water dinosaur too. All the others were land or air.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're building a mock, like, and you have a theme, like comedians always talk about, you want to go for the third joke that like nobody thinks of. So this is the third joke. But yeah, I guess that's all I have for Liam.
I'm not following that logic, but I'm going to roll with it.
Well, no, it's like you have, something happens, you can make like an obvious joke about it.
Oh, okay.
And then you can go a little deeper and make something that not many people would think about, and then you have to go like beyond that level to get to like a really unique joke. So that's you can apply the same thing to making mocks. What's the third joke? Or maybe you can't apply it to making
mocks according to brick literacy.
Yeah. Maybe you know what? Go do stand up for like a few years, and then y'all will understand what I'm saying.
All y'all.
Go write jokes.
All y'all will understand.
All y'all.
You're living in Virginia right now, right? So
yeah.
That all y'all there. I lived in North Carolina a long time, so yeah, I remember those days.
Anyway, these were some great explosions.
Yeah, really good action shots.
Like this is
that fireball.
I'm not sure why the figure was like slanted down in one of the earlier shots, because they look like they're like jumping out. Anyway, yeah, I think that's the only one. But anyway, yeah, great job. So now we had Carrie and Patrick's Peaceful Valley.
The grandpappies.
Yeah. And Patrick, he pulled an Andrew from LEGOMasters New Zealand, where that 1 week where they had Di as their advantage for an hour, and Andrew was just like going on and on and on about the story, and Di was like, "No, just show the thing."
We don't need to know all about the Peaceful Valley.
Yeah, Patrick had a very elaborate. Patrick like wrote a novella.
I think Patrick just likes to talk. In all the interviews, he's the one who's always talking.
And I mean, there is kind of a lot going on here, but no, go ahead.
Wow, that thing was busy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's kind of a dinosaur exodus at this power plant. There's an orchard here. And let's see this power plant is being devoured by the dinosaurs or something. Again, dinosaurs love electricity.
Yep, that much has been established.
We've established this.
We have established that dinosaurs love electricity.
Delicious.
Been mixing with the power lines almost every single time, except
So anyway, here's our explosion.
We can't be original enough to do anything else, right? In our builds.
And I think this is
the rock band, though. We're gonna have to do a dinosaur rock band.
Dino rock band.
We're
gonna have to
put it on ideas.
Smoke and flares.
Yeah, Lego ideas.
Yeah.
Dinosaur rock band. It'll be just like the jazz quartet, but more popular.
Wow.
Right? I think. Think about it. Which dinosaurs would be on which instrument?
You have the Dinopods. You model your rock band after those guys. And you can totally have.
You have all your staple dinosaurs.
Yeah. Or you can have Battle of the Dinosaur Bands. You
Oh,
can have
man.
Oh,
the Brontosaurus band.
This is, you know,
band.
Let's just stick to the Dino Rock Band for now and see how
No,
that takes.
in an alternate universe, you know, Stacy goes over to Aaron and is like, "Hey, are you guys also doing a Dino Rock Band?" Like, yeah, we're gonna have totally the best Dino Rock Band. And then they
You
both
heard it
have,
here, folks.
We expect to see that next year.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to do a Dinosaur Rock Band, and we're going to be saying, we called it.
yeah.
We called it right here.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think that's all the builds, right?
Yeah,
Or
this
did
is
we
all the
miss anything?
builds.
I
And
think
again,
that was the
like,
last of the builds. Yep.
yeah,
And there's the
I
explosion. And once again, this didn't have the height that some of the other builds had. I think it had a little bit in the back, but mostly it was pretty horizontal. Pretty
well, but
level.
again, you know, this is just a cloud of nonsense, and I can't see anything. So,
All smoke.
Yeah.
and
yeah,
I like the cloud of nonsense.
yeah, it's just nonsense.
It's like a spell, right? Something
not,
Harry
you
Potter
know,
would do.
I wanted serious Lego. You know, that's why I tuned into the show, not this cloud of nonsense. Get rid of it. You know, be gone, cloud of nonsense. There we go.
Okay.
If we wanted to see pyrotechnics, we would have gone on to YouTube.
Yep. So, are we going to say the top two now?
Yeah. So I guess we can talk about the top two. Top two were John and Xavier for their
Yes.
multi-stunt car,
Mm-hmm.
and Emily and Liam for their
The Mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Those were the top two.
Mhm.
So, Dan, you haven't seen the show. What do you think? Between those two, who do you think won?
So as
John
far
and-
as far as judging is, are we judging the take that Lego did on it, or just the builds themselves?
We don't know, but
We don't know.
apparently-
We don't know how they judged, but Amy
Yeah.
and Jamie, the two Lego masters who are employed by Lego, are the ones who made the decision.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
So
you know,
we get to make our own decision because this is our show. So what we've
all
been
we
doing
know,
is
know,
just deciding.
all
Well,
we know is that they
there's,
shoot.
there's a decent story in the Mosasaurus.
Mhm.
There's definitely some good action shots in the traffic jam. I think there were simpler elements that were employed in the traffic jam, whereas there's a lot more complex elements at play. Technically, I would, from a technicality, or not technical, from a technical build, I think the Mosasaurus is just way up there. Like,
Mhm.
it's such an amazing build, and
Yeah.
they capture
The sculpting.
the action scene
Yeah.
with it. They've got the boat breaking. They've got the guy jumping from the boat. I mean,
Mhm.
that's all some pretty good story elements
Right.
right there.
And the little flying
And yeah,
the dinosaur too is in there.
if that's intended to be bait.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's what they said. I think they said that actually.
Was
that
it attached to a string?
well, not necessarily,
it was-
but it was just that it was attracted to that,
Okay.
and then the boat kind of got in the way.
Ah,
Yeah, they were not trying to.
They weren't
catch
trying.
that
He wasn't
dinosaur.
trying to get the humans. That he was like looking at this. Oh,
it'd be
look.
stupid if the humans were trying to draw.
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah, it wasn't bait in that sense that the
That's
humans
true.
were like
I thought
This
they
is the
didn't
day.
use the word bait.
they used the word bait, but
They
like
didn't use
they-
the word bait. Okay,
Mhm.
see, I wasn't imagining that.
but you know, the humans weren't like, you know what, today is the day.
Like,
We're
hey,
getting that
let's get a
Mosasaurus.
mosasaur today. Let's put it
We're
on.
gonna eat like kings,
They-
and we're gonna have so
I
many teeth.
believe the bait thing a lot more if you had the one guy who was jumping off, but then you had another older guy with a beard on it with a harpoon that's ready to grab into a center. Or chuck a piece of dynamite. There you go.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Okay.
But yeah, what's
So-
your final answer?
yeah.
I honestly would go with the Mosasaurus as one.
Okay. Well,
And-
that is in fact what happened.
Ding, ding, ding. You're a winner.
But yeah, John and Xavier's build was like That was,
That was
everything they
definitely
asked for in
great.
the prompt as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so do we agree on their choices for number 1 and number 2?
I think we do. We just have to pick a bronze
So now
medal.
we just need the bronze medalist, right?
So I think strong contenders are Michelle and Christine's like party
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico. Nick and Stacy's Halloween is a strong contender.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with that one compared to some of the others. Yeah. I think the large Brontosaurus, because as you know, I like Brontosauruses. I keep forgetting Greg. Was it Greg?
It was Brandon Gregg, yeah.
Yeah, Brendan. That's going to be my number 3. Brendan and Greg.
That was a good dinosaur, but just
It
like
was
some of the
amazing
details,
dinosaur. Yeah.
like I was like, that head could be a little better. The head bothered me, like the eyes.
It bothered you because it was looking. It was looking in the.
No,
other
like
way?
the eyes were just.
What was that?
No.
Where's my Rolodex?
Yeah,
I do think though that just from an impact, if you just scroll through all of those images, that's one that really sticks out.
It does have an impact.
It has an impact. It covered the storyline, even though it wasn't as obvious because what's the dinosaur looking at? But I think the scene was very, the dinosaur across the road. So you had the power lines, you had the oil tanker. They put the detail of the, the tracks, the dinosaur tracks, in oil.
Well, we know the question is, so we know the answer why the dino crossed the road because he wanted
to
the
get
electricity.
The electricity on the other
Delicious
side.
oil. Okay.
We're going to run through the power lines.
All right. So
it wasn't on the other side. It was behind him.
Well, the amount of speed that he had to gather to run through the power lines
carried him over. Yeah, it's really like
We're going off the rails big time, folks.
It's like asking why did the dinosaur like take 2 steps? That's why. But yeah, we can give them the bronze medal.
Well, that's my choice. I mean, what is your choice?
I can see it.
Yeah, is that your choice or
I can go with that. Like
Michelle and Christine's.
I do like Michelle. Just some of the sculpting details on the Brontosaurus are like not my favorite, but that's like a nitpicky thing. So it's not.
That's why they're bronze. They're not silver or gold.
Right. So now we have.
It doesn't compare to the Mosasaur. I think we all agree with that. I think the Mosasaur definitely takes first place, and then John and Xavier's runaway car.
Yeah, that's definitely number 2.
Number 2, and like I said, for me, it would be the Brontosaurus.
Yeah. All right, so we've got USA gets the gold medal this week. Philippines gets the silver medal, and then USA also gets the bronze. So we'll add that to the running medal total.
So we've decided that John and Xavier are representing the Philippines then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just boring. It's just more fun to have more countries.
That's true. It is more fun, but then it wouldn't be LEGOMasters US or LEGOMasters North America anymore. It'd be LEGOMasters US, North America, or just US, Canada, Mexico, and the Philippines.
Well, maybe this is as close as we'll get to our all-star international season of LEGOMasters.
Could be. That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, that is
okay. So I think we agree then.
Yes.
Right. Mosasaur. Just so I remember. I don't even know if I'm spelling this right. Mosasaur.
Yeah, I also wrote it down. So I can.
You wrote it down? Okay, good.
Are the dinosaurs attacking outside the room right now? What's going on down there?
It looks like they maybe are taking a break. They were like enclosed in the conference room, and some of them came out to chat.
Okay. I'm glad they finally got that door open. There was some struggle earlier about getting the door open. So, good job.
Well, we're looking forward to next week, and as I was mentioning, that we're probably going to stream on Friday because. Hey, RJ, come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
So you probably remember RJ has appeared on our show before. So they're having so much fun. In fact, Look at that.
He's got his Hawaiian
Work
shirts on
it.
and
Work it.
What is-
Will Heron
Dumpster fire.
Designs.
Oh, I love the brick built dumpster fire.
Yes.
That's great.
We're all in a dumpster fire, right? But no, thank you. Yeah, we were just how
Yeah, we're
would you
wrapping
rate
it up.
the last Lego Masters?
Mhm.
We just did the review, so do you
Actually,
agree?
My opinion is when I watch it, I will tell you.
Oh, it's a good thing
Okay.
you weren't here because
That's right.
Will. Yeah, no.
Did not get to see it. I was busy working. Sorry.
I got a spoiler, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan
I
was a
helped
good
review.
sport. He was part of the review. Yeah, so
Okay.
we have
Well,
a new
here's-
guest reviewer here.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your last name, Dan?
Raensteam.
Raensteam.
All right.
Do you have Instagram?
Bye. Take care.
We can put your we can put down. Now's the time when we start like telling people to go do things and look at things. So
We're actually hoping for more guests if any of the Lego Masters want to pop in. So, okay. Anyway, let's just say there's a lot of drinking to be had here. So you
Like-
probably could tell by the banter in the hallway that we're here live, and this is what happens when you're at a live event.
And
And-
when you're 21.
And thank you, Dan Raenstream, for being part of this show.
Mhm.
You're always welcome to come back if you ever want to
yeah,
come back.
what's your Instagram? We'll put it in the thing.
I actually do not have one.
Okay.
He's one of the few that does not go on social media. That's why I was really surprised that you agreed to be on this show. It was like, yeah, I'll sit
Figured,
down.
why not?
Why not? Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to see Dan, come to a convention at some point in the future,
Well,
or,
we could
this
we could
weekend.
keep doing this.
I am pretty much a fixture for this one. I have been to everyone since 2003, and I pretty much do all the setup.
Yeah,
Cool.
he's one of the key people for BrickCon. So yeah, kudos to you and the team. And when we first introduced Dan, he mentioned that he's been working on trophies, and this is the 21st trophy, right? 21st year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cool.
the longest running, I think, convention, brick convention, adult fan of Lego brick convention in the West
US.
Coast or in the U.S. as a whole.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Longest running brick convention in the U.S.
And he was there from the very beginning, so he's seen a lot. So,
He's seen some things.
and
I have
Terrible
tens of
bits.
thousands of pictures. I need to do a cleanup.
but it was really a delight to have you, Dan. This is really the first time I've really gotten to know you too, because we've seen each other at CLEG meetings before, but never really had a chance to chat. So now you know a little
I've been on
bit.
Zoom several
Yeah.
times.
now you know a little bit about what I do, and you've met Remy now, and
Yeah, this is it. It doesn't get better.
and now
we're at our
you
best
two
here.
have, an alignment of dinosaurs loving electricity, so you guys can just
Oh, yeah.
talk all
It's-
about that,
it's
you
pretty
know.
much a done
It's
deal.
a
I mean, that's just science. So
we got to do the dinosaur rock band.
yeah.
I think we each take a character, build it, put it together as an
That's
idea
rock
set.
band.
I got what? I guess I could take the Brontosaur, maybe, or the Triceratops. No, I think everybody's done the Triceratops and the Brontosaur. Maybe
Yeah,
I should
put
do that
those- put those-
Dilophosaur, or the one that has that flaring,
There you go.
and
one
spitting
that-
out
I
venom.
want to be the singer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. It's got a very much video vibes to it, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Well, I think this has been so much fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Maraid. Thank you, Brick Jedi. Thank you for hanging out. Yin Yang 847. Anybody who's watching also in the chat too, feel free to please like and subscribe to the stream.
There it is.
And, there it is. And you're watching the Brickanista Broadcast Network here on YouTube. And don't forget to follow Brick Literacy on Instagram. And if you do want to send me a note, fan mail is always fun to read on the air. Brickanista Broadcast Network, P.O. Box 31956, Seattle, Washington 98103. And once again, stay tuned to the Discord server because Remy and I will probably be shifting because we want to watch Brick and Nick's review and then give you feedback based on what we hear.
Well, I mean, I want to continue to baselessly speculate, but Naomi was like, no, we should watch and get
It's
the
not
episodes
just that. It's that they're streaming at the exact same time we are.
Yeah, so it's
like if you want any audience at all, I mean,
Yeah.
who do we want to watch? Do we want to watch Naomi and Remy, or do we
well,
want
you
to
want
watch
to watch
all
us.
of
but-
those Lego Masters on Brick and Nick's show?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, well, some people, you watch LEGOMasters and then you're tired of watching these guys for a whole hour, and then you gotta switch it up.
That's
You got to see,
well,
But-
and we do have an unbiased opinion, which I think is also fresh, right? I mean, how many other people are saying dinosaurs are into electricity? I mean, come
Yes.
on. Or dinosaur rock bands. And who else is saying, why didn't you say the doctor salutation for that
Yeah.
female astronaut?
It's gonna happen.
Right? Yeah.
People
So
are
we talk about
yeah.
those things here.
put the
And
card up
we
on the
really
wall.
appreciate we
Right
really
here.
appreciate everybody who's participating.
You can, if you're starting your wall, you can put it in the corner so you have more space for like more cards and string. That's
Isn't
the
that
little
what
space
like
saving tip.
psychopaths do when they're following somebody?
No, it's just
It's like they put a newspaper clipping and then they put, the date and then a little, pin with a red line.
Well, you gotta have all your facts where you can readily see them.
Okay, you're starting to scare me now, Remy.
Anyway,
But
let's go to the after party. It's
let's
time.
say we're gonna head out. Thank you again, Dan. It was really great having you on the show. Thank you, Remy. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see each other soon. And don't forget, may the clutch be with you all. Take care. Good night.
We're out.
Bye. Take care.